Seedance 2.5 has hit the world of AI video, promising a whole bunch of upgrades and bringing the very use of AI video to a whole new level. But is it actually any better than Seedance 2.0? Well, today I'm going to go through and compare these two models and look at the differences that have come out with Seedance 2.5. And we're going to be generating these Seedance videos using OpenArt, as they have sponsored this video, and there's a link in the description below if you want to check them out. Once again, Seedance 2.5 is from Byte Plus, but it is now available on OpenArt to use. The first thing I want to touch on is if I'm using Seedance 2.0 to create this video here, the output length can only go up to 15 seconds, which is a pretty decent amount of time, and it has come a long way from just 1 or 2 years ago. But when we switch over to Seedance 2.5, we get a length of up to 30 seconds, which is a massive upgrade if we need to create short films using AI. We can get a lot more done in a lot less time. Now, this clip in particular, which goes for 30 seconds, has a nice slow intro, a little bit like slow motion, but it really does start to speed up and take off. And because of that extra time, it really allows for a change in rhythm. So I think this is potentially an upgrade in sort of movement and rhythm and the overall quality of how your video is actually played out. And I love the way this little VHS glitch happens at the end as the warrior kind of like turns to ashes and fades away. But you may also like to know that much like Seedance 2, Seedance 2.5 renders at 24 frames a second, so you can get that nice cinematic look to your videos with that frame rate. And one of the really powerful things about Seedance 2.0 was how intelligently it handled multiple references in your video. Things like images, other videos, music. It allowed up to 15 references and used them really effectively. But with Seedance 2.5, we can actually use up to 50 multimodal references in our video, making it an even more powerful tool for taking more control over the outputs we create. So let's test this out by getting a whole bunch of different references, throwing them in to the video generator and seeing what results we can get. So I've got 25 different images here. I've also got a song I've downloaded from the YouTube audio library, along with a video I generated with Seedance 2.5 as a reference for some motion. I'm going to use this as a motion reference for the start of the video, whilst also asking to use the music and add in the people from the images. Now, to run through how this works quickly, I'm on OpenArt. If you want to check it out, there is a link in the description below. But I'm going to come down to video. And for this particular video, I'm going to use text to video, but I'm going to use references. So I click on that. And under model, I'll change from Seedance 2 to Seedance 2.5. And I can add in my references here. Now, I've got an audio file, a video file, along with some images, but you can also choose characters from your OpenArt library. But I'm going to highlight all of the files over to the left here and just simply drag them in one hit. Sometimes you'll get a question like this if a video or a file is too large, but you simply compress and upload, and it will upload those references. It will also ask for me to crop the audio where I want it, so I'm going to bring it forward to about the same section I used into the introduction of this video. I can preview it, but for now I'm just going to hit confirm. And once all your references have been uploaded, you can actually see them here. You can expand to see the whole lot. But you don't actually have to use references to use Seedance 2.5. You can just simply come down and type a text prompt. But I'm going to type up a prompt to try and use all of these references. One thing I can do to help is click this little button here, which brings up like a full screen prompt bar. So I can see all my references here and I can start to type. I'm going to say using the motion from, and I type in at. I can choose the reference I want to use. I'm going to go for video 1. And that is how I can actually get each reference for when I'm typing my prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and type the whole thing. And so I've typed up this long prompt of a man who is walking downtown with a certain motion reference, as well as a dystopian background. He passes a whole bunch of people, which I've mentioned all individually. I've tried to use every single reference here, which is a little bit crazy, to be honest. But I'm also going to add at the end, the music in the background should be from audio 1. Now, this is a lot to go through. I'm going to close this window, come down, bring it up to 30 seconds at 720p, and let's see how well it handles all 25 of these references, considering that's only half of the limit, but I just can't bring myself to find any more references than what I have here. So let's generate and see what we get. So the environment and the character are solid, however, it didn't really follow the motion of the video I uploaded. The music is there, and you'll see it passes by those various characters I uploaded pretty successfully, down to the text on the man's shirt, even the car. So it does a great job at actually remembering all those various references, but it just didn't quite follow the motion as instructed. But it was a pretty tall order, but also the robot here isn't quite what we asked for. You can see that it got the man right, it just didn't quite get the robot as we wanted. But also take notice that it has all the items on the table that I specified, and they all look pretty much exactly as supplied, except it is just missing that skull. So that is only one small issue with that scene. But also with the characters, it didn't get everything perfectly there either. You can see him walking through here, and we didn't get the little monkey with the suit or the guy with the top knot. So we got most of the characters, just not all of them. And we also didn't quite get this moon either. But we still got most of the references exactly as needed. And if you go through the scene, you can see how it's done the dystopian background here with the skull. It's added a moon, not the correct moon, but the movement down to the man kicking the can and the guy as he starts to flex in the background, the other guy walking up. The movement and the way it's set up looks really, really solid. And my only complaint is that these guys here look a little bit still. But other than that, I think considering just how much information we gave it and all the images, it's done a pretty awesome job. Now, I can't use that many references with Seedance 2, but I did make this video quite a while ago when I first tried Seedance 2 out. I used some images to set different progress shots of this video. And you can see here the prompt that I used for this original video, as well as the references here. And I use these references as steps in the timeline in order to give it some idea of what things should look like. And you can see it mentioned here in the prompt, and you can scroll down and see it was made with Seedance 2. So if I close this down, I can come to the video here, click on Use, and recreate the video to pop all the same settings and references here. All I need to do is change over to Seedance 2.5, and I can test out to see how well it handles it. And overall, I feel like this is more dynamic and it has improved on the transition. It's just this last little bit here where it kind of morphs the trade towels, but otherwise pretty solid. But another test I did with Seedance 2 originally was to simply upload this basic comic strip to see if it could use it as a visual reference to create a video. And it does a pretty solid job. There's no dialogue, but it works pretty well according to that comic strip. But Seedance 2.5 just adds a little to it.
At very last.
Now, I also mentioned you don't actually need references to use Seedance 2.5. So using text with reference, I have this basic prompt, which I tried previously. And when I rendered it with Seedance 2.0, this is what I got. But with Seedance 2.5, it's actually much the same in quality. So far overall, I would say that Seedance 2.5 has a slight edge in some videos, but not all videos. The fact that you can actually create longer clips is a pretty big plus, and it does seem to be a little bit more cinematic and a little bit more dynamic in how it handles the execution of some of the movements. The next big thing is that Seedance 2.5 offers 4K video resolution, but this has also been extended to Seedance 2. This is exciting for anyone who wants to create short films or media because that is the standard for any TV show or movie that comes out these days. Now, currently in OpenArt, if you're using Seedance 2.5, you can see my prompt here. I've also added in a camera angle, which is another really cool trick you can do with OpenArt. But if I come down to my output, at the moment, it only goes up to 720p because at the moment with this particular rollout, they're only releasing it at 720p and they're going to actually add 1080p and 4K very soon. So we can't actually test out 2.5 at 4K at this point, but we can go back to Seedance 2 and keeping that same prompt, we can come down to the output and we can actually test out 4K with Seedance 2, and you can see just how sharp and amazing these videos actually look. I'm going to bring the length up to about 11 seconds. Keeping it at 4K, I'm going to generate that, and we get this shot here, which is really dynamic. Now, this YouTube video is only 1080p, so I'm kind of got this down to half scale, so we're not seeing the full resolution, but we can see there's hardly any artifacts. If I zoom into 1:1 scale, we still get that fluid motion, dynamic movement, but there's still zero artifacts, proving just how sharp this is, even when you view it at 1:1 at 4K. But this also means because of all this movement, it's hard to really see the quality of this resolution, just that it looks great while we have a lot of camera movement. So I made a few other videos. And so I rendered this video. It's supposed to be a close-up of human eye and the detail and the fact that everything looks pretty much spot on, even down to the way that the pupil actually dilates, is pretty interesting. So I zoomed in again and you can see just how crisp some of these areas are. Some areas are blurred out of focus, but when you get in close, you can see everything looks spot on, down to the fact there's hardly any artifacts. And even this video here of me in a spaceship, which was rendered nano banana of a planet Earth blowing up behind me, if you actually zoom in again, you can see all the pores of the skin, all the details. It does a really great job of keeping things sharp, detailed, whilst also hitting that 4K resolution. And I think this goes to show that it's not only about getting the 4K resolution, but also the detail and the crispness when you look up close. Now, only a few AI video models have actually managed to produce native 4K video in the past, but Seedance has the best realism and movement and the highest quality of video. So being able to combine this with 4K natively is really incredible and is a big step forward for anyone using AI in any personal or commercial use when it comes to video. And now, according to ByteDance, this 4K resolution also comes with the fact that there is improved physical motion and audio in their videos. So let's actually take a look and compare some clips to see if that's really the case. And so I rendered this clip using Seedance 2. It gets a little bit repetitive with the punches, but it does eventually get a little bit of variety introduced into the clip. It has some nice sound, music, and movement overall. So I'm here in the text to video section in OpenArt, and we have here the prompt I used for that video we just saw, along with the model, Seedance 2. What I'm going to do is switch to Seedance 2.5, and keeping that same basic text prompt, I'm going to bring the length of the video up to 30 seconds, so we have a little bit more to review, and we're going to generate so we can have a look. The monk magically appearing is a nice little touch. The slow motion intro, I feel, is there to kind of get the extra time out of the video, along with a whole bunch of repetitive punches. But it does finally mix up some of the movement. The way the camera lingers is actually a sign of a well choreographed fight scene. And I love that final blow, along with the sound it produced. Now, I do feel it tried to drag out the action for that 30 seconds, so maybe I need to add a little bit more in the prompt in order to keep things moving. So I'm going to take this prompt and modify it a bit. So I decided to actually add in some timestamps and also add in a whole bunch of different things towards the end of this clip and try to really pack it full of action to see how well it handles that extra action at 30 seconds. As you can see, it gets on with the action and doesn't draw it out. It has some nice cinematic sound. And this entire clip is really satisfying to watch and even to listen to. I love the sound the ice makes when the man freezes. So you can start to see how Seedance 2.5 is just a bit more cinematic than 2.0. But also, if you're going to do 30-second videos, I think it's important to make sure you have a fleshed out prompt with plenty of activity so that it doesn't get drawn out. But I also want to show you that, as with most video models, we can also go to start and end frame. So this means if I have Seedance 2.5 selected, I can simply drag an image in as a start frame or even an end frame, type up a basic prompt, and simply generate to get some nice cinematic video. Now, I've made this clip before in Seedance 2.0, and this is it here. And it works well, but I love the way that I interact with the explosion when it goes off in 2.5. Just the way the character interacts with the elements, I think, is a better touch. Now, Seedance 2.5 also offers advanced local editing. Now, what that means is, if you want to edit part of a video clip, you can choose to change only the portion of the video that you select, leaving the rest of the video untouched. This is something that I haven't really seen a lot of that's worked quite well in the past. So let's check that out and see how well that works also. So if I wanted to take that video we just watched and change that Tory gate to a different color, what I can do is, instead of being in text to video here, I'm going to go back, and in OpenArt, I'm going to go down to edit video. And I have Seedance 2.5 already selected, but if I click on that, you see we have a few other models. But I'm going to drag this video in. So the video is there. I'm going to scroll down and then simply change the Tory gate in this video to bright purple. And then I'm going to up the resolution to 720p so it matches our input video. And then I hit generate, and you can see the gate is purple. And of course, if I decide to actually put these two side by side and play them next to each other, you can see the motion, everything else in the scene that we can see here is pretty much identical. It's only changed that Tory gate. So I then decided to grab this clip of the astronaut in space, which is actually me and the dog that kind of floats into frame. And I decided to say, add Australia down to the planet below, put aviator sunglasses on the astronaut, turn the dog into a small pig. So keeping it all the same, when I generate that, we see the sunglasses, the pig, and then slowly Australia comes into frame. But coming back, I have an image I've uploaded here of like a wizard, and I just want to simply point out that this model actually works in multiple languages, and it does a pretty good job. So if I come down here and type in a basic prompt, you can see here I said have the wizard calmly saying hello in English, and then followed by the Japanese language version of the same greeting. So I haven't told it exactly what to say, and I want the camera to circle him a little bit and his eyes to glow and show flames. But without actually mentioning what words I want him to say, simply mentioning what language I want him to say those in actually works pretty well. So if I come down and generate that, what we get is
Hello. Konnichiwa.
so a pretty solid translation. And to try something different, I also wanted to actually convert something back to English. So I said, have a rock star say the German phrase "Du hast mich," and then repeat those words in English. I'm sure many of you are probably guessing where I got this from. But I come down and generate, it offers a pretty solid translation.
Du hast mich. You have me.
But the Ramstein song is a play on the words "Du hast mich" to make it sound like you hate me. So I decided to test out that minor difference also. If I decided to add an S in here, which is closer to what the meaning of the song is, which is you hate me instead of you have me, if I hit generate, we get our German phrase.
Du hast mich.
Some random speech in the middle,
Tone shifting raw.
and then the translation.
You hate me.
So they've made a few nice steps going from Seedance 2 up to Seedance 2.5. It really is a nice upgrade. For me personally, I think that 4K resolution is a big step along with the 30-second generations because Seedance 2 was already pretty amazing. Just simply by being able to add that is actually pretty cool. Now, the overall quality and movement of the model, I think, is only a slight or minor increase, but it's definitely one worth noting. You're still going to get better videos if you use it. And the fact that it has multi-language support, I just think this is a great step up. Now, it's not perfect, but no AI video model is, but I would definitely say this is the model to use if you're looking for the best results when generating any kind of AI video. So what are your thoughts about this advancement and how do you think it impacts the AI video space? Leave a comment below with your thoughts and I'll do my best to reply as soon as I can. But otherwise, if you want to check this out, have a play for yourself, I do recommend using a tool like OpenArt because it has a whole bunch of AI video models that you can choose from on top of Seedance 2.5, along with a whole bunch of other tools. One of the best ways to really maximize your use of this is to go for the annual Wonder Plan. It is the most cost-effective tier, but you should also just check this out for yourself and see what suits you best. And if you sign up for the Wonder Plan before August 13th, you get unlimited use of Seedance 2.5 when you generate with the 480p 5-second settings. And this is for new users or if you're upgrading to that plan, but if you're already on the Wonder Plan, you do get 7 days of unlimited Seedance generations until August 13th. So that way you can experiment with Seedance 2.5 very thoroughly when using OpenArt. So check that out, there's a link in the description below and I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. But otherwise, that's it for today guys. I hope you found that video useful and if you did, please consider giving it a like. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching and have a great day.